Hey everybody. What's up, Primetime Squad? How y'all doing? How's your Monday? Hopefully all is well. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. I had a truly busy weekend, but got to spend the time with family and friends and was barbecuing, grilling and just doing my thing outside of work, of course, because I still had, to work this weekend at my other job and slang a few cakes and stuff. As you know, I'm a cake decorator too. But still be trying to get my lives in because I like to keep up with you guys, and I know you guys like to keep up with me and get all the prime time tea on these celebrities and reality shows and TV shows. So I'm here for you for all that. Um, what do y'all think about the last episode of Basketball Wives? Like, I'm so over Jen. Jen is just digging a bigger hole every time she opens her mouth. And the only person she got on her team right now is Kristen, who dropped her friend and seems like she just picked up a stray because, hey, Nika, honey, Kristen done picked up a stray child. Don't nobody want to hang with Jen anymore. She don't have no more friends. She lost all her friends. And Kristen, who lost her friend, is now hanging out with Jen. But we'll get back to that in a minute. First, I want to touch on Malaysia. I really like her storyline this season about trying to deal with her brother's death. A lot of people, like over the past few years, just a lot of people has been dealing with that, um, with police, just having anger against the police, against police departments in their city, not trusting cops, officers. I love how, well, okay, first let me say, it's sad how you have to really sit your children down in 2018. Yes, definitely in the black community. And you have to sit your black boys down, your young men, and teach them, like, really teach them and prime them for a police encounter. And I have to admit, I did that with my son as well. My oldest is 21, my other one is 17. And I mainly went into more detail with them when they started driving. And I believe it was about, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, my oldest son, I have found out after the fact, but I had always told him, if you get stopped by police, make sure you call me right away. Make sure you call me right away. He had got stopped. Um, he had went through a yellow light, and I guess the cop said he had enough time to stop, so he got him for speeding. Um, because he didn't take the time to stop when the light was turning yellow. So, and of course, I didn't find out about it until afterwards. And when he called me, and he was on his way to work, and when he called me, he was like, "Mom, I got stopped by the police." I all of a sudden panicked. My heart started racing. I'm like, "What you mean you got stopped by the police? Did you get in a wreck? I mean, what happened?" And he told me he got a ticket for speeding. And I was like, first thing I said was, "Why you didn't call me? I told you before, I trained you to call me." He said, "Mom, I was scared to reach for my phone." And he said, every time they shoot somebody, they think they're reaching for a weapon. And he said, "I wanted to call you. I was scared. I was nervous." And he said, "I was shaking." And he was like, "I just rolled down the window and tried to be as nice and polite as I can so I could come home." And at first I was mad because he didn't call me. And then when I thought about his explanation, I was like, well, that does make sense. I'm telling my son to reach for his phone and call me. I'm so glad that I raised my children well and he has some sense and he decided to call mom afterwards. I'm so glad even more that he was able to call me afterwards. So, getting back to Malaysia, I'm glad that she sat her son down and spoke to him about his uncle who passed, and she's dealing with this phobia with police, scared of officers. Um, but she ended up taking Jackie's advice from last episode and decided to speak to an officer. And she hits up, well, she says she got in a DM. She got in Officer Nathan's DM, which I guess he's kind of known throughout the internet or whatnot because he's always in his community and with the kids in the community and doing things around the community that's his community that's positive. So she figured, I hit this cop up. He seems like a real cool, nice guy. And she did hit him up. And Jackie, yep, it was a white cop, yep. And he's real handsome, girl. He reminds me of what is that wrestler's name? That white wrestler. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'll figure it out later. But yeah, real handsome white guy too, and he seems nice. And Jackie went with her and went to meet the cop. And at first she broke down. She was crying. She couldn't talk to the cop. But he took his time with her and he was gentle and patient and understanding. And one thing he said that hit home was not enough officers know the community that they're working in. They don't know the people there. They don't know the neighbors. They don't know the kids. They don't know the elderly citizens of the community. And they need to go back to doing that like in the old day. But the same thing is true about the community itself. I mean, a lot of neighbors, I hear people say all the time in their neighborhood, they don't know their neighbors. They don't know the people who've been living across the street for them for the last 10 years. They see them, they might wave, and they drive on, leave, and come go from their home. So it takes a village, and it takes not only the officers, but the citizens of the neighborhoods as well. So, um, big ups to Officer Nathan. That was a really good thing that you did, and also Jackie for supporting her. That's what you call being a friend. Now, moving on about Kristen. Now, Jackie, she's putting together this PSA, and I guess it's in kind of in light of Malaysia's situation about her brother, how she's dealing with that. So she puts this PSA together and gets a camera crew and everything and a film crew together. And she invites the ladies to, this production because she wants to use them and use her kids and everything in the production in the PSA. And so she invites Kristen and Cece um she lied and actually told them it was to go out to eat. But it was really to a beer tasting. And she mainly invited them for the PSA, but also kind of to break the ice between them two because y'all seen from the past few episodes, Cece and Kristen used to be real cool peeps, and now they're no longer speaking to each other. And so at the meeting, they decide that, yeah, I would love to come. I'm going to bring my kids, all that. And Kristen, she finds out that Cece had a birthday party. And I guess Kristen is, normally is invited every year to Cece's party. That just shows you how close that they used to be. And so she's like, well, I wasn't invited. You had a birthday party. Why you didn't invite me? And Cece, she was like, well, at first she's like, I just threw my own party, just something small. And then she turns around and says, well, actually, Charlie threw the party and it was something small. Then it got a little bigger. Then it ended up being 20 some people. But Kristen was like, okay, it sounds like you're lying about the whole situation. First, you talking about you threw your own party. Then you saying somebody else threw your own party. But bottom line is, why wasn't I invited? And Cece said exactly what was on my mind. Like, Kristen, why do you care? Would you have even came? I don't even think she would have come because they're not even on speaking terms. And the last time they got into it, she basically told Jen that they really weren't even friends. So why would you think that she would invite her? But this also brings me back to the time when they had got into it. Remember the wig party? Malaysia, she had a wig party And remember, on the outside, after they had got into it, Kristen said the main reason why she was upset with Cece was because she wouldn't like stand her ground or stand up to these women, or tell them off, when they were, when she was upset about the happy ending joke, which was just a joke. Just a joke. They did apologize about that joke, but she kept dragging it on. Right. She wasn't defending herself. So that brings me to last episode when Cece kept beating around the bush. Like, okay, you didn't invite her to your birthday party. You can't just tell her that. I didn't invite you because I didn't think you'd want to come. I didn't invite you because you told Jen we really weren't friends. I didn't invite you because I think you didn't care about me anymore. We're not talking. I mean, why can't you just tell her that? This is somebody you've been friends with for a long time and you can't even tell her that? So I see where Kristen was coming from regarding how she can't defend herself, against the other ladies. But still, yet I don't think Kristen would have came. I think she's just trying to bring something else up to argue with her about, because she has a new friend now. She done picked up a stray. Her name is Jen, and she needs some friends. Right, I wouldn't want to go either to the party. So I think she's just, pulling her leg with that one. So anyway, they decide that they're going to go to the PSA. Um, I titled this Jen, just basically stop it. Just leave it alone. Just drop it. Because Jen just keeps dragging it out. Okay, you have one friend left. Kristen, she don't even know the whole backstory from y'all, all y'all relationships. So I don't understand why she says that she's on Jen's side. She told Jen she would be there for her regardless of what happens, and I'm your supporter, and I'm gonna continue to support you. But she don't know the real story. She don't even know what she's supporting. But they out and about, and they, I think, having a bite to eat or something like that. And she tells Kristen, you know what? Yeah, I was invited to, the PSA along with everyone else. And I really don't know what it's about, but I know I'm going to wear black like they're asking. And if Tammy starts some stuff, I got my own receipts. Now, we done saw how Jenda said within the last few episodes, she got receipts. You hear it in the commercials and the previews. She got receipts. So I'm like, dang, we about to see some receipts tonight. I was looking forward to this episode to see these doggone receipts, because I'm thinking she gonna put Tammy on blast and finally, prove that she wasn't the only one wrong in the situation. So they have the PSA. They do the recording and everything, and it works out great. The children did good and everything. Then Jackie has like an after party. So at the after party, Jen walks in. She comes in last. Everybody else is already there. Jen comes in last, and nobody's really messing with her. Nobody's speaking with her. The only person that spoke to her was Jackie. And Jackie said she felt obligated because she invited her. So she didn't want her to feel like left out or alone. She's a stray. Like I said before, she's a stray now. So Jackie, she hollers at her, thanks her for coming, good hug, the cheek to cheek, how they do. And while she's sitting there, drinking her little drink, she hears her name like over and over and over again. And, and she's like, hold up, I'm right here. Why do I hear all these people talking about me and I'm right here? Jen is in the building. So she turns to them and she's like, you know what, Tammy, I'm sick of us going through this round and round and round. You know what? This happened a year ago. You brought it up a year later, because you just wanted to start some stuff. And she's still trying to blame Tammy for the whole situation. Now, yeah, Tammy did bring it to the table a year later. Tammy, I think, probably did have an underlining objective to get back at her, and not just to be like, oh, Shawnee's my friend. I think, she should know. I don't think it was just Shawnee's my friend. I think she should know. She had an objective. But I'm glad she brought the subject up because Jen was shopping the story around to everybody. Ain't no telling who all knew about Evelyn possibly sleeping with her ex. I mean, she shopped the story around to Malaysia. She shopped it around to Tammy. Ain't no telling how many people in the industry. Like, she first say she heard it in Florida, in Miami. Shawnee said we used to be in Miami all the time. I've never ever heard that rumor going around. So that brings me to the fact that she probably shopped this story all around everywhere and was too scared to put it out there herself and was just trying to bait somebody else to do it. And she baited the right person. Tammy finally broke it out and she told, Shawnee what was up. And so Tammy is like, you know what? Why do you keep lying? You know what? You upset because I brought it to the, group and everything. And Tammy's like, well, you know what? She wouldn't have had nothing to bring to the group if you wouldn't have brought it up in the first place. And I'm still trying to decide. Is this really a rumor that Jen just made up? What you think, Nika? Do you think she really made this rumor up, or do you think it was a valid rumor that she heard? I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. In a way, I want to think that she made it up herself because she wanted to get back at Ev because they was beefing hard and they used to be friends and she wanted to break up the relationship between Ev and Shawnee. That's what I really think. But hey, I don't know. I don't know. But so I'm trying to get this hair out of my face. And so Jen, she's talking about, well, you know what? I got receipts. And I'm like, okay, finally, 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 we about to see some receipts. Pull out the receipts, girl. Pull them out. She pulls her phone out. Everybody's sitting there waiting. I mean, and if you notice, if you notice in the background, all the guests, like all these guests, all dressed in black, night need, they coming to this function. It's supposed to be a grown civil function, PSA for unity and police brutality. And they hear these females over here arguing and it just gets quiet. Like everybody is waiting. You can hear a pin drop, waiting for these receipts. She's flipping through her phone, flipping through her phone, flipping through her phone, flipping through her phone. And not finding nothing. And then Tammy, she pulls out her phone and she flipped open her phone. Bam! Right here. Here you go. Malaysia's like, dang, how Tammy able to pull it up right away? And you would think that Jen would be able to pull hers up right away because, I mean, first of all, you done lost all your friends. You would think this is something you would have in your phone still just because of how deep this situation is. And she couldn't pull anything. Then she turns to Tammy and she's like, when did this happen? What month was this? This is how she talks. What month was this again? And Tammy was like, March 26th. And then she's like flipping through her phone, flipping through her phone, flipping through her phone. Oh, mine stops at March 27th. And everybody's like, okay, so where are the rest of the texts? Where are these receipts you speaking of? And Tammy's like, you know what? Here, Malaysia, just read it. Here, just read it off my phone. Gives her the phone and basically is saying what we already know, what they already stated, how she was telling Malaysia and Tammy that she wanted to bring this witch down and tell the story of what she heard, the rumor or whatnot, of her sleeping with Shawnee's ex. And then Shawnee goes off. She's like, you know what? Just save it, Jen. Just save it because you're just lying. You just keep bringing it up. Why do she keep bringing it up? Why? You don't have receipts. Why are you telling people you got receipts and then when you get in the situation and they asking you for proof, you can't bring no receipts? I'm like, girl, just sat down somewhere. Enjoy the little last friend that you have and stop trying to make up all these extra storylines for yourself because I have a feeling if she doesn't come correct with these ladies, like she so-called gave a dry apology when Shawnee had them all together, when they were sitting by the water. She gave like a dry apology. I'm sorry. I think she even dropped one tear. I think she did. One tear. She needs to get it correct with all of these. I mean, Malaysia is mad at her the most because she really tried to get her to carry the bones. And she's like trying to blame it on other people. Oh, Malaysia brought it up. Oh, Tammy brought it up. Oh, you brought it up. You either made up this lie or you heard it. But when you heard it, you should have told if you would have just came forward as soon as you heard it, like I have some very good friends. I have a bestie. I have some very close cousins, god sisters. If I would have heard that they man was sleeping with somebody else, I don't care if I got receipts or not. This person told me. That's who told me. Go ask them. That's who told me. Okay, if you really thought that, why would you tell everybody else and go around the world and I and put it all out there like that? If you didn't really have proof. So anyway, Jen, just stop. Just leave it alone. Try to make up with these ladies because if not, I can't see you lasting in this basketball wives, you know, business. So that's all I gotta say on that. Y'all let me know what you gotta, what you think about this last episode. I saw the previews. I'm looking forward to the next one because on the previews, they were still at the party because you saw how Shawnee, I'm sorry, Jackie, when she saw that, they were getting louder and louder and Tammy was getting, you can just tell if y'all been watching this long enough, when Tammy gets upset, her eyes, her whole facial expression just look like she. And Tammy has been doing good. Seeing a therapist, trying to be on her grown stuff, trying to keep herself composed. You know what I'm saying? And Jim was trying to bring it out of her, and I could see her leaping over a table now, trying to bust her upside the head with that glass she was sipping out of. So, but anywho, in the preview for next week, it was showing they were still at the party, and Jen was like, I got a can of mace on me, so if anything pop off, I got a can of mace on me. And Tammy was saying, man, if she stepped to me, it's gonna be on and popping. So I don't know what's gonna happen in the next episode, but I'm looking forward to it. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. How do y'all feel about how Kristen um latched on a Jen like that? Like, do you think she has an ulterior motive, or do you think she really value her as a friend? I can't see how because they haven't even known each other that long. And then about what do y'all think about the situation? See, okay, I have read somewhere about Malaysia and the whole cop situation, and they was like Malaysia's dragging it out. Now, I honestly don't think Malaysia is dragging us out to make up a storyline. We know her brother, which was a twin, he was killed by a cop. They thought he had a gun on him. He didn't have anything on him. I can just imagine the pain that she's going through, and even me, myself. I've never had nothing like that happen in my family or close to me, but when I see a cop behind me, and I could be doing the speed limit, which I'm not a speeder. So, and I'm mainly not a speeder not because I'm scared of cops, because I done been pulled over before in the past for speeding, expired tags. I ain't gonna lie, I had a ticket before for expired plaques. Didn't get that money on time when I got that new car. I didn't wait no 6 months or a year like some folks out here do till they get their next income tax return. But I was like a few weeks late. And when a cop gets behind me, my heart just like palpitates. I don't know what goes on. And I break out in the sweat and I'm like, oh my God, am I speeding? I'm looking, am I speeding? I'm like, I'm legit. I got full coverage insurance on all my cars, including my son's. So I have no reason to be thinking I'm in trouble for something. But still, a lot of black people go through that. Right, Nika, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what to expect. You don't know if there's a cop behind you that had a bad day, if there's a prejudiced cop behind you, if another person they pulled over pissed them off by getting smart with them. You don't know. So all I can say is do your best. young black men, all of us, to get home safe every day. And I don't think that she's dragging it out. I really think she's truly, truly emotional about this situation. And again, big ups to Officer Nathan. You didn't have to do that. I think this guy was from I think the cop was from Arkansas. So he made a trip all the way to see her. He didn't have to do that. He traveled across the country to see her, to calm her nerves, to talk to her, to try to help her to get over her phobia of being afraid of cops. So big ups to you, Officer Nathan. If I ever met you, I'd like to give you a hug myself because I think you helped her in a lot of ways. So, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm a little late, running behind. My brother had a new little baby girl, and I said I was going to be there around 6:30. It's almost 7. So I'm going to get over here and see my new baby niece. And I want you all to have a wonderful Monday, a wonderful week. I will probably come at you later, either tonight or tomorrow, because I caught the episode of Housewives of Potomac. I don't know how many of y'all watched that show, but the last episode was crazy. So I definitely thank you, Nika. She is so pretty. And she named her mom named her after my mom who passed away a few years ago. And I thought that was so sweet. And she even, before the baby was born, she asked me what I thought about the name. And I was like, oh, I felt so touched. Like, that means a lot for somebody in my family to be named after my mom. So I appreciate her for doing that. I love my brother's baby's mother, so she's really sweet. But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys hit me up in the comments if you got anything to say about this episode or any of the cast or what you might think on next episode. I didn't really get on Tammy because I just didn't get on her about her and her fiance because I think she's confused. I think she might even be playing with us, going back and forth. I want to get married. I don't want to get married. I want a baby. I don't want to have a baby. I don't want to try to have a baby. I don't. All I gotta say is, if you really want a baby, Tammy, and you really can't have a baby, and you think this man will leave you if y'all get married, and he decides he wants that baby that he kept saying he don't really want, if she can't have it, get a surrogate. Get a surrogate. They do it all the time. You can you can pay somebody to carry your baby, get a contract, find a friend, find a family member, get a surrogate. It's the same thing. Well, not technically, but you know what I mean. It's the same thing. It'll be his child, your child. That's all I gotta say on that. So Nika, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, and I know I said I'm about to get out of here, and I wasn't gonna talk about that, but Shawnee did tell her when they were out eating, she said, girl, if you don't make up your mind and if you keep going back and forth, Reggie might mess around and leave your tail. I don't want to get married. I want to get married. I don't want a baby. I don't. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to leave that alone because I'm going to just leave that alone. I wish the best to her. If she does have a baby or still want to have a baby, I hope you have that baby you want. But anywho, so I'm going to get out of here. I will talk to you guys later, either tonight or tomorrow. See you later, Nika. Thanks for checking in with your homegirl. Everybody who checked in with me today, if you didn't like the video on your way in, make sure you like it on the way out. If you are not subscribed to me already, please hit the subscription button. And after you hit that button, you'll see a little bell. And hit that bell till you see the asterisk around the bell, and that would let you know that from now on you will receive all my live notifications as soon as I go live. So thank you very much for tuning in. I will holler at you later. And as usual, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out.